soldiers and soldierettes, salute! And if you alive and breathing, we are back to conquer another day. And don't you forget that. And let's honor our ancestors, those whose spirit is alive and well, and many great brothers and sisters out here. Salute within our families and our children, in our inner circle, in our loving near circles. Because what I always say, brothers and sisters, is we got to keep that family spirit, even when we by ourselves. It's important. That's how we connect to that divine. And as I always do, I appreciate those that's been riding along on this journey. Current subscribers, new subscribers, whether you react or not. Because remember, we can't take none of this with us anyway. And so we appreciate anyone that takes the time to listen to one speak. Because we never know whose lives we just might be changing. So we don't worry about what's before us or what we've been through or what we're going through. We stick to that divine spirit within, connect to the universe, Mother Nature. We'll never go wrong. But we got to be full on throttle. That's brother or sister, young or old, children, family. We got to be full on throttle. And quitting is not even an option. You know, stopping is not even an option. Because when we're connected and we see clearly, we know great things will come. Especially if you've studied what I always talk about. The laws of attraction. And before I go on, may all of our families prosper and everything we touch turn to gold. And anyone in our families we held dear that transitioned, may they rest in peace and in power. And especially those that left a footprint in this life. And whether they made major goals or major moves to make this world a better place, if they had it in thy spirit, it's still good. Because having good things within is good too. But it's always better to put it into action. But as Malcolm X said, it always starts with a thought. But at some point, we got to put that thought into action. And I always say we don't have to worry about resources and getting out there and who do this and, you know, and worry about person, place, or thing. We just do. We just do. We don't doubt. We just do. And connect with that divine, because that divine loves it when a brother or sister is bold. And that's what leads me to the power of determination. Is a beautiful thing. If you can cherish it, if you can honor it, if you can cultivate it. Determination. And we're talking about righteous things. We ain't talking about no evil shit. You know, always righteous. You're going to hear me say word righteous a lot because it's good. You know, hearing good energy, good positive things going into our ear and hearing it all the time gets in our subconscious, just like toxic things can. So, but we don't do toxic things in a righteous world, right, brother or sister, young or old, soldier, soldierette, salute. So we're going to talk about the power of determination and how it can benefit you in the present and make for a great, great future. But there's some tools that we have to have along the way, brother or sister, soldier, soldierette, salute. Tools that we have to have in thyself to stay determined. And one tool is to be aware that sometimes plans we set might not go the way we want them to go. So that's where the strategic, if I said that right, planning comes into play. You know, it's not that you're looking for something wrong or you're going to set up something or you're setting yourself up for something. You just anticipation. It's a beautiful thing. That's another tool. Anticipation. When you got anticipation, it will help you to stay determined. You know, when you are aware of things that may come down the road. Again, like I say, not looking for nothing wrong, but just anticipating things that will keep us determined, you know. And like I said, as we go up these levels, whether it's age or our spirituality or this walk we're on, we will be humble enough to know sometimes things can come out of nowhere, you know, and that's just keeping those like ready, like a soldier ready, you know, not paranoid, not desperate, just ready, standing firm, but staying on the walk and staying focused on what's important. That's a great tool in going into being determined. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm going to touch on I'm already touching on being determined, but we're going to talk about being determined. And you always know I like to have those meditative moments. I pick a word and I study it and I go into what? Say it with me, brothers and sisters, into depth and break it down. There's a million words in this world. And remember that movie, and I'm sure a lot of us seen it, the movie Eddie Murphy made, 1,000 Words, if I'm not mistaken, that was the name of it. And that's one of those movies he made that stuck with me. It's two movies that he made that stuck with me. And that's 1,000 Words. I don't know if that was the title of it, but I know that's in the title. And Holy Man. Holy Man, y'all have to watch Holy Man. He dropped a lot of jewels in that movie. And I've talked about this before, I think, on the podcast, but you really have to study Eddie Murphy. He was brilliant. And as well as a lot of brothers, celebrities. I don't get into too much of the celebrities, but I try to draw the good things. You know what I'm saying? Some of the good things some of the celebrities did instead of all the bad shit, Because that's what this world want us to be dumping on each other. But some celebs now, I don't condone the shit that they did or doing. But as far as Eddie Murphy, he's very brilliant in Holy Man and 1,000 Words. And I drew a lot from those two movies. And 1,000 Words, what I got from that is try our best not to waste our words. We only live on this plane once. We all don't know what happened or what's beyond when we transition. But while we here, I really feel sorry for those who just wasting their words on bullshit. Things are gonna come along. That the human errors, I always say the human body is a battle, is a challenge sometimes. But when you study thyself, you won't waste words on bullshit. So that was just in my spirit. And Holy Man, he dropped a lot of jewels in that movie. And one jewel I drew from that was, what he say, we get 75. If I might, don't quote me on this, it might be wrong. But in the movie, he said, as man and woman, we get 75 winters, 75 summers, 75 falls, 75 springs. When you think about it like that, it doesn't seem that long. So don't waste time. When you think about time like that, don't waste it, because a snap of a finger, we could be gone. I mean, look at those that are dropping off around us. Just had Tina Turner pass away. What was it, yesterday or recently? It's becoming more random, and she'll be missed. She really would, because I was a big fan of Tina Turner. And just think of it, brothers and sisters. Look at all those around us that are dropping off like flies. I mean, I know people are going to pass away. People are going to transition. But when you observe and when you have that connection to that great divine and just different things in this life, in this universe, some things will be like, like what's going on, And it's heartbreaking to hear some of these people that pass away, the way they pass away. And that's young or old, anybody, not just celebrities, because there are those that's passing away and transitioning all over the world. And some of them are real horrendous deaths, real bad ones, It's heartbreaking, So that's why I take what I do and what others do. I appreciate it, and I honor thyself, and I honor thy teacher, and I honor those that are trying to put good things into this humanity, as I myself, because we need it, brothers and sisters, and there are a lot of great brothers and sisters out there. I will put emphasis on that. I will not talk down on thy brothers and sisters. I will discuss, the errors in our ways, which we all have. I've had errors, so I'm not going to get on the podium and so you need to do this and you need to do that. No. I want to help those. That's why I always talk about the psyche and things within and that inner core, because that's what one had to deal with to get me to the state I am in, as well as a lot of great reachers and teachers out here. Like I said, some of the strongest brothers and sisters in general, not just teachers, are still alive today because of the things that we experience, and this brother or sister, young or old, we got young brothers and sisters that came through some stuff too, and which is even better because when they come an adult, they be that much more powerful. So those young brothers and sisters that's Just stand with it and stand firm and doing what we have to do. Amongst our challenges, I salute you, because it can, especially these days, can be very, very challenging. So that's what brought me to the power of determination. Study it, look it up, get that word in our system. Determination can be a beautiful thing when it's righteous, not talking about nothing evil. So just wanted to get that out of my system. And things that I have in one spirit, that divine draws it out. This is self-therapy, brothers and sisters. It not only helps those that are listening and can change their lives, it also helps me too, and helps me to elevate and get better. So I just wanted to break down determination, and we're going to have a meditative moment. And again, thank those that take the time to listen, whether you listen to music, my podcast, or videos. Salute, I thank you, especially if you got something out of it. And we keep that circle of energy going. So we're going to break down determination. A firmness of purpose. Let me see. Resoluteness, if I said that right. Some of these words I don't use in my vocabulary, so forgive me. Firmness of purpose. Resoluteness, if I said that right. Advance with an unflinching determination. It's beautiful, ain't it? But we have to study these things. We have to get it within our subconscious, and then it'll work its way out to our physical and out to the world. So firmness of purpose. I'm going to work on that word, resoluteness. I'm going to have to look that up. So, all right, that was stage one, firmness of purpose. Advance with an unflinching determination. It's beautiful when we can get to this point. And we can, soldiers and soldierettes. Salute. The process of establishing something exactly by calculation or research. Man, it's beautiful. The process of establishing something exactly by calculation or research. Righteously, though. Not nothing for nothing bad. And it's great when we can get to this point. And we can. And I'll say, one vital way we can always stay determined is to be loyal to that great divine. And those of us that are connected to that higher force know exactly what I'm talking about. And it was a time, brothers and sisters, where one was afraid to talk about that spiritual realm. Some, not all of us now, but I'm sure, and I understand why some, especially in the beginning, that first come into this walk, might feel kind of weird to talk powerful or cosmic, but that's the whole point. We have to know. We can't be afraid, because what is something I always say? That great divine loves it when we're bold. We have to be bold. Think about how powerful that great divine is. You think the great divine is timid? No, the great divine is strategic, does things in certain ways, because that great divine, that higher force, knows us better than we know ourselves. And remember, we're all different. So that great divine works with each individual in different ways. It just depends on who we are. If we're receiving the signs and the power and the downloads from the higher force. See, when you keep yourself like this, as I'm talking now, as I'm thinking now, and I'm sure there's a lot of us that are like this. I see it all the time, and not just online. I see it in the world, because when you're connected, when you're loyal to that divine, it will give us the power of observation. We will begin to study things. So we will no longer believe. We will begin to know. And this is something that sometimes we can pick up from that great divine, or that great divine will send those great teachings or experiences through person, place, or thing, and it just depends on what we're receiving, what we listen to, how we are within. Always comes back to that. I said on a podcast about a week ago, we can't run from ourselves, and that go for me too. So that's why we have to have the power of determination when it comes to being a righteous brother or sister. Because when we're righteous, and when we're determined in the present, we'll be determined in the future. And when we transition, brothers and sisters, we will leave that footprint, whether we in a small space or big space. Remember, Doesn't matter our status. It matters the energy, how we are within. It would eventually work its way out. Remember, because we're being loyal to that great divine. That great divine decides what is shown and what is not shown, because it depends on what we have and harbor inside. And I say this a lot, it doesn't matter what we hide or harbor. And let's focus on the positive, because we know what happened if you're evil and toxic. We already know that. So, but guess what? When we harbor positive and good things and the desires within and things we want to do, when we cultivate those kinds of things within, and especially when we held it in for so long, and when we finally do show the gifts in this brother or sister, young or old, and when we finally do, and we're fearless and we're connected and loyal to that great divine, we will become unstoppable, because you will be doing it out of love. You will be doing it because the great divine wants us to share our gifts, after we cultivate it and make it, not trying to make it perfect, but making sure it's real. That's why it's good to go in solitude sometimes and marinate on things and, just try to make it better, whatever gift that is. Not always speaking, it's whatever it is. As long as it's righteous and it's not hurting us, it's not hurting you or hurting no one else. When you got that kind of gift and it's not toxic, it's the best gift in the world. But like I said so many times, we have to be in that space. Our mindset have to be in that space where we want righteous things. We have fun and enjoy things in our lives, but we got to keep that power of determination of living in this life, because great divine didn't give us life to be endured. Life is not meant to be endured. We got to enjoy life as we teach and focus on the important things along the way. We can have that balance. We just got to keep that loyalty to that great divine, because the great divine sees overall, knows all. I always say the universe, Mother Nature, great divine runs all this shit at the end of the day. Doesn't matter who say what, who doing this and doing that and the third. Great divine runs it all. That's who my boss is. So I put that great divine and, above. I'm telling you, I love my family, love my circle, love my children. But overall, I love that great divine over everything, because everything is under the great divine. He, all this stuff, all this technology, all this, we wouldn't have none of this shit if it wasn't for that higher force. Because what some forget sometimes, not all of us now, but what some forget, or those that may be toxic and unaware, that great divine can wipe this whole system clean, start all over if it wanted to. But that great divine won't do that, because that higher force has a plan. And that higher force has its righteous soldiers and soldierettes out there, salute, that do mean well and want good for the humanity. So that's why the great divine won't do that. And I don't want to come off like I know everything, but when you're connected to that divine, it's not about knowing everything. You just speak what you feel. What comes up, comes out righteously, and it's a beautiful thing. But we have to study things and use those tools I talked about earlier to manifest those wild moments and these weird thoughts, and just can't be afraid to step into it. Mother Nature will hold our hand. Mother Nature will be right there with us. Mother Nature, the great divine. I remember I used to say, the great divine is the male and Mother Nature is the female, because you need both. You can't, but not in a toxic way, and those we'll see. I've always said, one loves and one doesn't judge. Those that's wild, that's wicked, and either don't want to be aware or don't care. I really feel sorry for brothers, for individuals like that are toxic and are not connected to the higher force. I mean, you're just bringing hell on your own life, and you will be imprisoned in your own mind, and that's the worst kind of prison a brother or sister could be in. That's why we have to be loyal to that great divine, even through the mix of a storm, because everything isn't always easy, But when you have that power of determination, as I said a little while ago, you You will learn to anticipate things, and that make us even more determined. So keep that power of determination in thy brother or sister, young or old. I don't give a damn what's going on, because the great divine has something great for those who are righteous, lying ahead, wherever we are in our part of the world. And I mean this, because I've heard stories from others. I have stories, people in my family, we've all been through some kind of trauma or filtering or a process or a challenge. All of us have. And be thankful for those who made it through and decided to take the right road, the righteous road. Be thankful for that. And be thankful for those who are righteous that do have big influence and do mean well. It's a beautiful thing. That's because they stayed loyal. They are loyal to that great divine. Great things always come when we're loyal to that great divine, when we're determined in that divine, Mother Nature, universe, and just stick to teaching and away from the bull. We discuss the bull, but we don't become consumed by the bull. Thus, media, Hollywood, some toxic celebs, things like this, the news, things that can drain us and take us away from the issues that are important, things that can keep us living and growing and giving us the desire to teach it to others, family, children, significant other, our loving circle, and just, man, it's like I say, it's like a positive ripple effect, and it just spreads out and it reach all the brothers and sisters in the world, because that's the most beautiful thing, when we're reaching out to humanity, brother or sister, young or old, keep that power of determination, brothers and sisters, righteously, and you will never go wrong. So that's my thought. That was just in my spirit. Wanted to break that down, and I thank those that have been listening. Appreciate you. And on my banner here, that's actually my neighborhood right there, and it's beautiful outside today and sunny, and I just thought I, wanted to show my neighborhood, and it's pretty peaceful over here most of the time. And most of the time, wherever that divine got us, he will make our surroundings peaceful. Now, some might not think that, but think about how peaceful your life is. We say, I'll go ahead and say it, those of us that the great divine has chose to be in one's life and put those powerful teachings in us, those downloads that come into us out of nowhere. It's beautiful, isn't it? Because when you get over the worrying about what person, place, or thing thinks of you, you become your most powerful self that you have ever been. So stay determined, brothers and sisters. And if you are peaceful in your life, do things to maintain it, because things getting sneakier and different in these times every day. So just stay on guard, stay firm, stay loyal to that great divine. You would never go wrong. And that's a promise, because a lot of us have experienced it and are experiencing it, because it's all about protecting that ultimate peace at all costs. So that's my thought. And I thank those that came in to another edition of EBX Discussion. May you prosper, you and yours. Salute to the reachers and teachers that's out there doing a thing. I honor your family. I honor my family, my children, their mothers, brothers and sisters all over the world. May you please have the ultimate peace in your part of the world, wherever you are right now. Salute.